Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building an apartment in San Myshuno. Now, I built this apartment a lot because I like the shape of it, and also it's like one of the only ones with a balcony, and I feel like a balcony is like kind of fun. Other than that, like I don't use the balcony like when building. I use it when I'm playing, but like building, I like forget the balcony half the time because like most apartments don't have a balcony, so I just like it's the apartment, and then you just kind of have a balcony over there is kind of what my mind does. And so I think it either may be empty or it may have like 3 things on it in this apartment. I actually don't remember. I also happen to have done this apartment like a week ago. I was going to do it, which is I'll get into later, but I didn't end up doing the voiceover for it last week and ended up pushing it to this week, which is fine. I just have more voiceovers to be doing this weekend, and so just gotta figure out more things to talk about because I didn't do that last week, which I should have. But that's, I never do that, so that's fine. But the main thing, or what I was saying earlier, is that I was going to do it, which is the like entire purpose of me building this, because I was kind of in the mood to build, but I was also like, but I want to sleep, which is, a very, thing that happens like a lot is, Sims or sleep. Usually Sims ends up winning because I'm just like, I can get another build done before I go to bed because my sleep schedule is already crazy. Might as well just do another Sims build while I'm at it. Just mess up my sleep schedule more so. It's okay. But I did this one and I was like half asleep and like kind of like out of it. I was just like about to go to bed because I think I had school the next day. I'm not exactly sure when I built this, but I'm assuming it wasn't a Friday or like a weekend. I don't think I've built on the weekend. I don't think I have built on the weekend in like a couple weeks or like a month or something. It's been a while because the weekends are for, getting back into building for the week and then doing voiceovers. And so that, weekdays I can do build because I can't do voiceovers during the week or weekdays. Well, I could. It would just be really loud because I have to kick my brother out of his room, which is right next to mine, because he is very loud. But, he is a 12-year-old boy, so it's okay. But I have only the weekends that I can do this because usually he's like, very like antsy and like just wants to like play on his computer, like play in his room instead of going downstairs. Currently he's studying because he has been on a phone call with a friend that he hasn't seen for 9 hours today. I don't know how he talks that long. I literally can't even talk for 30 minutes on like voiceovers. When I do like 3, I am dying. Granted, I'm doing a voiceover and I'm talking to myself and he was talking to another person. But like I can't even talk to my like real friends for that long. At that time, I'm like exhausted. But he may be an extrovert. I'm not really sure. He's like both. It's very confusing. But like it's very strange. But he's been doing it for 9 hours and I've been trying to do voiceovers for 6.5. It is 6:30 for reference. I usually like to do my voiceovers either at like 10 a.m. or like 12:31, so it's definitely a bit weird. Definitely messed up my scheduling, and so I've been the last like 6.5 hours I've been doing like literally nothing because if I know I need to do something and then I can't do it and I have to prolong it for like a different time, I just won't do anything else. I have barely done anything today. I've done a couple things. I moved a shelf, which was pretty good, and then I also I took some push pins that were like connecting my metals, metal as in like the thing you win in sports, not like metal like the metal substance. For context, I was taking push pins off and nails off of my canvas that was holding the metals to the board, and I did that. That took a really long time. Moving the shelf only took like 5 minutes because it's a shelf. It wasn't that bad, but that's basically what I've done today, taking up my time, because I've been trying to do voiceovers because I wanted to do voiceovers at like 1 when I finished lunch, but didn't work out like that, so I've just been trying to figure out other things to do, but I also just kind of sat on my bed for like a bit, but that's okay. It is the weekend, I get to relax, and I already did my homework, most of it. I still have reading to do, but that's okay. We'll move the reading to a different day, probably either later or tomorrow or Monday because it's due Tuesday, I think. I think it would be beneficial to do it Monday though, because then I'll remember what happens, because my notes are not working, which is real fun because I suck at taking notes, especially like other people's notes I can look at fine and like get all the information out. My notes, they just don't work for me. So I'm figuring that one out. It's not working very well, but trying to figure that one out. But into other things that have happened in the last like week in school, mostly in chemistry class. I think that's just all I'm going to get today. But the first thing is in chemistry, I think Thursday, may have been Friday, but I think it was Thursday. That probably doesn't matter that much, but I think it was Thursday. I was handed like a slip, you know, like the I don't know, 4x3 inch pieces of paper that they hand you when you like need to go down to the office to do something. I have not really gotten one of those since high school started, like only for the time that I went to the dentist, and then I think that's it. So I was very like, what did I do? Because it's a slip, and it said to go to like a specific room in the office, and not just office or like not health office. It had like, I think it was like 100J, and I'm just like over here just like, what did I do? Because I didn't do anything. Just putting it out there. I don't do things like that. Didn't do anything bad. I have too much anxiety for doing that. But I was sitting there for like 3 minutes because it was like a pass down to the office, and it was like 5 minutes in the future, maybe 10 around then. And so I was just sitting there at my desk while she was giving instructions. My chemistry teacher was giving instructions on the lab we were about to do. And I was just over here like, what did I do? Even though I fully know I didn't do anything. But my brain's just like, you did something, obviously. They want to talk to you kind of thing. It was really fun. My heart was definitely pounding very hard at that time when I was about to go down there. And I also missed half the instructions when I went down there, actually. And also another key thing, it had like a go to, but there's also a bottom section of this paper that says return pass, and then it'll say like where you're supposed to return to. It didn't have that filled out, so I was like, oh god, what did I do? Obviously I did something bad because I wasn't returning to class. Apparently they just didn't fill that out, but that's a future thing. But I got down there. I left like a minute before they said I was supposed to leave, but I didn't know if that was the time that I was supposed to leave or the time that I was supposed to get down there because I have no experience with this, as I said earlier. No clue. I was just kind of very anxious. It was real fun right there. But I was very anxious, and so I just got down there and I walked really fast. I was from the second floor, and I went down to the first floor really quickly, even though they're like kind of far apart, the chemistry room and the office. But like I was very anxious, so I was walking very fast. Very fun right there. And so I got there, and so I go into the room. I have no idea what this room is, by the way. I don't go into the office. I've gone into the office like 3 times total. So I go into this room, and I go up to like the main person. There's like 4 main people, but like I went to the one that wasn't on a phone call already. So I went to them and I was like, where is 100J? Even though I could see it, but I wanted them to like acknowledge that I was supposed to go back there, because I didn't know if I was supposed to sit in the chairs or just go back to like the office. But they just pointed to it, and I just went in there and I sat down, and the lady was just like, you're not in trouble, as the first thing that she said when I walked in there. So at that point I was like, okay, I'm okay, even though I knew that. But she was like, I am your counselor, and I was just like, oh god. And then she was just like, I wanted to meet the 10th graders, and I'm like, oh okay. She's just a bit weird, because none of the other counselors do that. Just this counselor decided that she wanted to meet with all of the 10th graders, which is kind of fun, because we didn't get a counselor last year. We just kind of had to, figure it out and like schedule an appointment with an anonymous counselor last year, because I guess they didn't want to put in the effort to do it last year during COVID and all that stuff. So this year we got counselors based on like last names, I think. So that was really fun. I was in there for maybe a minute. Like, maybe. She basically was just like, I think she asked my name, and then she was like, do you have any activities in school? And then I said I was a cheerleader, which is not like me, because I usually say I do cheer, because I'm a cheerleader sounds so like fancy and proper and like, oh my god, ew. But I said I'm a cheerleader because I was anxious still at that point, because my heart still hadn't like fully calmed down, but I was just like, I'm a cheerleader. And she was like, oh yeah, I should have known that, because I was wearing my full cheer uniform when I walked in, because I had like a game later that day. I think it was a volleyball game, but I had like a full uniform on. And so I walked in there, and she was like, okay, yeah, I should have known that, and all that stuff. And then she was like, I am also the cheer and dance, yeah, that's the thing, the cheer and dance like administrator, I think she said. And so I was like, oh yeah, cool. And I was like saying, I said maybe 4 words the entire thing, and most of them were okay, yeah, nice, probably, or something around that. So it was probably a very awkward conversation, but she probably is used to that one, as she probably has like 300 kids that she's probably called down, so you know, it's probably fine. But it was very, very anxious for me, and I was very nervous, and so by the time I got back up there, I was just like, okay. And then I had to ask my partners, like, what of the 5 minutes of instructions did I miss? Because I missed all of that, and so it wasn't that bad. It was literally a very simple lab, like we were doing, like, taking notes of, you know, what a sign said. So definitely not missing like anything that important. So that was good, but it definitely was an experience. And I also was going to talk about 2 other things today in this video. However, you'll see those a different day. They're not actually that, you know, important. They don't go with this very much, but I'm going to end the video right here. So I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did enjoy, or if you want to see more videos like this. But I post a new video 4 days a week, so you can watch another one next time. Bye!